Hey guys and gals, welcome to the Film Feast podcast. My name's Tazi Starfire. I'm a co-host along with Justin and Brent Lawrence. This is technically the very first publicly available episode for Film Feast. And the reason I note that is because we have filmed 6 episodes. And this was the 6th episode on our filming docket due to WandaVision not being out recently. Yes, we are today talking about WandaVision along with some other rabbit trails that we normally talk about, which you will find out in this episode and the coming episodes, but nothing's going to really feel normal until the 7th episode. So just be aware of that. Also, I just wanted to thank you for coming and listening, and I hope you enjoy. All right, I'll meet you in the mid-roll later.
I'm now recording.
I'm always recording. I record everything. So literally whatever you say, I can blackmail you with. So I can get lots of money. Tazi, I can get at least like 50% of what you have.
Right,
so like
he doesn't
$30.
He's gonna just start.
I'm just gonna let you just release whatever. Like if anybody ever tries to blackmail me, just release it. I don't give any publicity is good publicity.
Exactly. All right, guys, welcome to the Film Feast.
The funny thing is we do the intro like after this, and we always do like a little intro inside.
Well, I feel like there needs to be a transition from like the fake world of someone else recording to the real world.
Yeah, because it'll be kind of awkward, just like straight cutting to us talking about the topic, or maybe like
the transition
talking about
fade.
Going to Taiwan and getting well, I wasn't gonna say AIDS. I was gonna say
you can get AIDS
tapeworm. You can get AIDS anywhere.
But just in Taiwan.
Okay. I went to Taiwan and drank some water out of a forest river, and I
drank the water when I went to Sierra
and I got
Leone.
a tapeworm.
Well, forget about that for a second. When I went to Sierra Leone,
yeah, sure.
I was told like the whole time
just a reminder,
not to drink.
Taiwan is not really a place where you go to get tapeworms. Okay.
Taiwan is like an actual city.
Like, yeah,
not the
Taiwan
bush.
is like
when you go to
really nice
Freetown, Sierra Leone, Africa, in the bush. This is like not the city part, out on the outskirts of the city. There is tapeworms over there, and they told me not to drink any of the water. And the last day, I was like, "F it, dude! I'm going home, going back to the doctors. Let's just have a gulp, And I did.
Wait,
and I was
hold
fine.
up.
I have a really good immune
Justin
system.
said that you can't tapeworms in Taiwan because he showed the city. There is nature in Taiwan, Justin.
No, they have a skyline. They don't have tapeworms.
Not just.
I was more like
just
of all the places to choose to get a tapeworm. You chose Taiwan.
I just chose a place that I could go to a river and drink.
Next time, pick Chicago then.
Chicago is a city. You can't go to a forest in Chicago.
Taiwan
is a land. Is a no. It's a country.
Wait, is there?
You idiot!
Am I?
It's an island off the coast of Asia.
Isn't the city called Taiwan?
Maybe, but the country is called Taiwan. You numbus.
But isn't it like? Isn't there just one? Isn't there one city?
Taiwan, officially, the Republic of China is a country in East Asia, neighboring countries including People's Republic of China to the northwest, Japan to the northeast, and the Philippines to the south.
You guys apparently
it's an island. It's a country. You idiot.
Can we cut all this out?
No,
like an idiot now.
No, Tazi, you better not be.
Why did I think that Taiwan was a lot smaller than it was?
I'm looking at the Taiwan national flag.
Why did I think Taiwan was so much smaller?
It's
has like a white sun.
It's red with a blue square and then a white sun.
White sun, which isn't accurate. The sun is yellow.
This is my lack of geography talking, guys. I will admit it. I thought Taiwan there was only one city. In the city of Taiwan. I thought the island was a lot smaller.
No, the capital is Taipei.
Justin, don't you remember in what is it in? What is the thing where it's like Okay, read what it
Cambodia's flag
Made
is
in
weird
Taiwan.
too.
No,
It's just
the
a
other
building.
side.
Or no, it's just a
Justin,
bunch
what
of
is that in?
steps
I
leading
don't
to a
remember
building.
what that's from.
Look at
Am
the
I studying?
Cambodia flag.
Wow, guys, this has been
Cambodia?
this has been a great discussion showing how dumb I am when it comes to geography and how I
This
don't
is
know
a
what I'm
segment
talking about.
of flag, national
I kind of
flags.
like Cambodia. Here's the thing that I don't get about flags is why so many countries or just places use red, white, and blue. Like red,
Because
white, and blue is the most.
America! We all want to be Americans.
No, America wasn't the first
But
one.
America
to do that, right?
wasn't the first one to use red, white, and blue.
There are
We still
way
think
too many places. It's such a it's so boring.
Red,
Like,
white, and
use
blue.
some special colors.
You're not
Red, white, and
patriotic,
blue.
bro. Go to Russia. Get
Like-
out of here.
No, that's red, white, and blue as well.
That's red, white, and
Russia
blue.
is not
That's
red,
the
white, and
problem.
blue. Russia
Jamaica-
is not
Jamaica's
red,
really
white,
cool.
and blue.
I like Germany.
It's blue,
but
white,
the-
and red.
It's blue, white, and red.
It is.
And then
Russia is not. Oh, I was thinking of Germany.
Germany. Germany is black, orange, and
Yeah, hold
black,
on.
red,
What
and
is
yellow.
the Russian flag? Oh yeah,
Russian
yeah.
is
Oh, yeah, it definitely is.
horizontal, and then French is vertical.
It's just
Yeah.
3 lines with the colors.
Yes, it's red, white, and blue. Same with France.
It's white, blue, and red actually, because it's white,
Whatever,
blue,
whatever.
red. I think.
And then France
Yeah,
is
right. Yeah, it is.
white, blue, white, red.
red.
I think France is blue, white,
France
red.
is just like, I like Russia's flag. Let's take that. We can't plagiarize it. All right, let's put it horizontally,
It's blue. Yeah, it's blue, white, red. I was right.
and let's randomize the colors.
And then United Kingdom. I mean, they did just take the what Welsh and Scottish, and then threw it
maybe
with
that's
their
why.
flag.
Well, have you ever thought that that's why so many countries' flags have red, white, and blue in it because of
That
the
actually
British?
might make sense. Well, the British were just the white with the red cross, and then once they put
I more mean
Scotland
just the
and
coloring, just
the
the
Welsh
coloring.
flag and
probably
the
'cause they
coloring,
were
the British flag was white and red. It's a
they were
white
the
background with a red.
dominating
it's,
empire for
Oh.
so long until we beat them.
Right.
That's why America's the
In-
greatest. Is 'cause
in-
But
we
the
beat them.
Union Jack is
The Union Jack.
more
The Union
recent
Jack.
thing.
It was
I
adopted in
don't know who Jack
1707.
is.
The
That is a
Union
really
Jack
cool
was
flag,
Is
adopted
the
in
British? Is the
1707.
British?
It's
flag.
kind of what do you call it? Some with an M.
Let's see.
It's like an art
so-
design, like a mosaic.
Yeah.
No, not a mosaic. Is that right?
So the Union Jack was
mosaic.
adopted in 1707, and variations of it were used throughout the entirety of the military, mostly in looks like the Navy, according to Wikipedia.
Mosaic. How do you spell that? Oh, I got it. Thanks, Google. No, not a
Let's see,
mosaic.
because I saw this.
You know
I've
the,
seen this before, but I can't remember.
Forget it.
What the,
All right, we're talking about
the Union. Okay, here we go. The Union Jack. So yeah, so the England is white with a red cross. Scotland is blue with the white cross, and then Ireland is white with a red cross. And yeah, and then that makes it.
and this has
the-
been
the
national
Union
flags with all 3 of us.
No, this has
I mean,
been
I think that's-
Justin.
I think that's
Justin
kind of
doesn't know
interesting.
geography. That's what this has been. I need to get start playing GeoGuessr more, or maybe I should just look into the geography of Taiwan and learn all their
National
cities. The fact that-
flags with
Guys-
the 3 of us is sponsored by Mike and Ike's.
Like an ice-
Dude. Okay, so if Scotland leaves the UK,
Mhm.
the proposed flag would, since that theirs is the white with the
What's
blue
the
with red
Brexit
white
flag?
cross.
It's
Still the same.
What?
They would
Brexit.
add the Welsh flag to the Union Jack.
We'll get some
So
green in
it
there.
would the Welsh flag is black with a yellow cross or
Oh.
yellow cross. It actually looks pretty cool. It's instead of the blue, it's black, and then there's yellow on
Wait,
the
but
outside
then-
of the British.
No, the
cross.
Brexit flag is different. It has
I
stars
need to
around
know what the history of this Welsh flag is, though, because I
Oh,
thought
wait,
this was the
maybe
Welsh
not.
flag.
it. I don't know.
Well,
There's a
let's
bunch of
see.
iterations of what the Brexit flag could be.
Maybe
Wait,
we
what
should-
is Brexit? Because that's just like say if like Texas left the U.S.
I mean, I'm assuming they would just.
and started
They
their
would-
own country, right? That's
Well, they would
basically
start their own
what
country,
Brexit
but-
happened.
Sort of. I think it's a little different because Britain is part of the European Union, which is more of like a loose confederacy that was
Here's the thing. Wait, I'm confused because this thing says
trade.
the Welsh flag is white and green with the dragon on it.
There's a
but
video,
then this other thing says it's
on the Brexit
black
stuff.
Brent, there's
cross.
a video, an 11-minute video down here that says why it changed, and it has the black and yellow one and the dragon
Have you
one.
guys?
So
you've been on TikTok.
Later.
Have you guys? Never mind. We can't talk about this.
I don't
we'll
use TikTok, and I don't use TikTok. But anyway, guys, we're recording this the Monday after WandaVision has come out. We've gotten a weekend to consume it and look at all of the terrible fan theories that people had.
Dude, I don't get. I mean, I kind of love it that I really enjoy the week to week thing that Disney Plus is doing nowadays with their TV shows. I really enjoy that because then it gives people, time to
You've seen it though? You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yes, kind of. Yes.
And we're not talking about it.
I'm not going to talk about it. I just think it's hilarious. I wanted to bring it up.
Yes. Okay.
Inconspicuously. If you want to know specifically what it is,
it looks like something else.
info.filmfeast.com.
No. Okay. But
at gmail.com.
Yes, but the week to week format that Disney Plus is doing nowadays, I think
just lost a lot of air.
I mean, I kind of think other streaming services should do it as well, because here's the thing with what's it called? Stranger Things. Everybody loved that for maybe like 2 weeks. It was like being talked about and then it stops. Whereas The Mandalorian and WandaVision, and then, even the Clone Wars, with like those all got talked about for a lot longer. It also helps the streaming service retain its
I paid for a year, so whatever.
Exactly. It makes people more willing to pay for long periods of time, because instead of just getting like a month or like a free trial kind of thing and just binging something and then being done with it. But the benefit to it is that people are able to talk about it, and it's kind of like it becomes like a thing that a lot of people know about, and it's kind of like it's like a community thing, and it's really helpful. But the thing I was going to say was that the fan theories are so bad. Like a lot of the fan theories, they're so wrong, and like they have no
good and came.
They
true.
have
Which
like
is the
no basis.
Agnes is Agatha. That was
simple. I think everybody knew that though.
Yeah,
I
don't like her.
Well, I'm gonna say it.
I don't like her.
Here's the thing,
but everyone with comic knowledge figured that one out pretty quickly. It was more like everyone's clear. Mephisto. Oh, quick, because Evan Peters was cast. This is an MCU crossover into the multiverse, even though they
wanted that.
And here's the thing, I thought that would have been cool, but I'm okay that they didn't do it. I thought it would have been really cool.
Why not
just wanted it, but they didn't
bring somebody else in then? Why keep us guessing?
Can I tell you exactly why? Which is something Matt Jackman talked about in an interview that he did last night, which was they needed someone that one, you have to understand the story, how they were doing the story of WandaVision. It was the stages of grief. And at that moment, it was the moment of bargaining for Wanda. So they needed someone that the audience recognized as Quicksilver, but didn't look like Quicksilver. And so instead of spending all this time explaining why Wanda was buying that Matt Shackman talked about this yesterday. He's the director. Matt Shackman is the director of the show. They cast Evan
I heard
Peters.
Shatman as well.
That's exactly
anyway. But they cast
Matt Shatman.
Okay, anyway, I'm sorry, Matt. I interacted with him once on
Justin
set.
Is saying,
it was a real quick walk in, turn around, walk out. The director's on set.
Justin was like, I shat when I saw you, so I just kind of
started calling you.
This is actually funny. I did it.
He probably gets bullied a lot because of it.
Did someone actually?
No. Because what happened was it was my third day on the show. I was interning, so I came in late, and the production.
Are you legally allowed to talk about it now? Because
at this point, yes, because the show's over. I can talk about all the knowledge. Yeah, I can talk about everything. You worked on the whole show? I don't remember. No. I came in as an intern for about a month. The last month that they were shooting in Atlanta.
How many episodes did you work on specifically?
They didn't shoot episodes like that. What they did was they were shooting all the sitcom stuff. They did almost all of that prior to me. So anything that was on stages in Atlanta, they went to Universal, to Disney's something. I don't remember. Disney has a place on the Universal lot where they shot the outside neighborhood scenes and all of the town square scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was there mostly when they were shooting everything that had to do with the sword base and the rover. So that month I was there, they were shooting. Stuff.
My question is after all of the scenes that you were a part of, specifically, I don't know if this specifies in the NDA. I don't think it does, the ones that I've read. But after those parts of the series has been released, are you able to talk about everything? Or because those days are over and done with? Or do you have to wait till the whole season is done?
I haven't read the NDA, but it's pretty much considered that you don't talk about it.
You signed your life away. Disney owns you now.
But yeah, you don't talk about it until after everything's released, and then it's sort of free.
Well, everything you've been a part of, right? Because if you only know of everything that you've been a part of, you can only spoil anything that you've ever been a part of. So if you've been a part of what's been released,
it's still considered sort of. It's still like considered like bad etiquette to do.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
as a
especially since you don't want to be.
I'm bringing up
and
the
he's
issues.
Like the lowest level, so he's replaceable. So it's like might as well not poke the Disney beast and get blacklisted also, from working with them.
Tazi,
because I talked about this maybe a little too early.
Do you understand what I'm saying though? Like,
I understand what you're saying, but I think it's more like Disney, instead of trying to create this rule set of what you can talk about, also this is their first TV show, they just say don't talk about it. If you worked on the show, do not talk about it until it has been released. Doesn't matter if you only worked on a specific episode. Who knows, maybe I saw something who knows, maybe I saw something that had to do with something that came after. I can't talk about that because that stuff hasn't come out yet. I can only talk about currently WandaVision because the show is released and fully out, so I can talk about WandaVision.
Wait, I missed I think of an important part of what you just said. What did you just say?
I just said I can talk about WandaVision.
But you said that you've seen something else, right?
No, he said if you have.
If you have. I never said that I specifically have knowledge about the future of the MCU that you don't have.
You do have knowledge, though.
Well, he can't talk about that.
Because it hasn't been released yet.
I haven't.
Yes, but like we're saying that the etiquette is that you don't talk about it until it has been fully released. Until everything is out. I don't think you guys
understand what I'm trying to say.
No, I do. That like you could talk about the things that only you know about, but the thing is
and has been released.
Yes, but like the etiquette is you just wait till everything is out. Even if you only know about the first episode, you wait till everything's out.
Yeah. If you're crew, you just shut up and move on.
Well, but what about this? What about this? Say it's not even a story about. Because Disney's very, very anal about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't clarify any of it. That's why I'm bringing it up.
I mean, have you read their NDAs?
I read one of their NDAs for Anchor Point.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did you not signed your NDA for that other show yet?
Which one?
I don't know if
I don't know what the code name is for it.
I don't know what the code name is. I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it. Okay.
But my point is that because they don't clarify anything, we don't know what is okay and what isn't okay. And so everybody's just like, let's just not. But if you do just go, hold on. Oh no, that show got postponed. I'm not even.
I know, but you were like a day out from being on it, so before it got postponed. So didn't you have to have signed an NDA at that point?
No. They make you sign it on the day.
No, because at least for Anchor Point, I didn't get mine until like the fourth day. Well, no, I'm saying, but it's still the same production company.
The same company.
Oh, it's still the same company making it. And the financial
name and figure it out.
Financial departments might be different, but at least with Anchor Point, it took like 4 or 5 days for the lead man to get all the new people the day players who came on that week to get their paperwork. It was ridiculous. It took a very long time.
I was told that I wasn't going to sign digitally.
Oh.
Like specifically with that specific show. That's never happened before.
I have actually the piece of paper that I signed for my because I had to like take a picture of it and send it in. It's just my signature. I had to take a picture of it, and no, I'm saying like I still have this because I did it. I did my I did my paperwork here. Yeah. My signature. It's gonna be worth something someday.
But okay, so my point is because they don't clarify anything, and they're very anal about it, but yet they don't clarify anything. What's stopping you from just spilling the beans? Well, I guess because
I want to work blacklisted on future Marvel shows.
Yeah, if they find out about that,
I have contacts in Marvel that I would like to exercise in the future to work for them.
And also, I'm sure there's probably something in the NDA that they can get you for if he talks about it.
I will say this. But if you had the money to take him to court, you could definitely take him to court and
but is it worth it? It's not worth it.
It would be worth it for them to clarify. If you're signing a legal document, it should be clarified what you can and cannot talk about.
I mean,
but like most people are okay with not talking about it.
I know because nobody's challenged it.
I didn't read the entirety of it.
But here's the thing. Tazi, people don't care about it enough. They're just like, okay, I can wait a little bit to talk about this. Or most people, a lot of the time, most people don't really care about what they work on. Like, I mean, for some of these bigger things, they care. But like, for the most part, it's like, yeah, I'm never going to watch that. I don't really care. It's a job for me. I'm just working.
Netflix stuff that I've been on, I have never seen.
Yeah. This show that I'm working on now, I probably will never watch it, but
Netflix is going down the toilet
in terms of
with
content.
Their original shows. Yes.
Their original movies and shows are not that good.
No.
Did you listen to the most recent Film Riot podcast, Tazi, or have you not listened to that in a while?
Who?
The most recent Film Riot podcast.
No, not yet. I was going to today, and then I just ended up not doing it.
Oh shoot, I can't remember the name of this movie now. They just released a movie on Netflix, and Ryan interviewed the director.
Director sounded like a 3-year-old child.
Did you watch that? Did you watch that movie, or is it? I told you not to watch it if you don't have to.
What movie?
Which movie was this?
I'm trying to find.
Are you talking about the Zendaya movie?
No, not that one. That one is issues. That one is problems outside of being
if you want to see my review on WandaVision, follow me on
it's called
oh my gosh, Tazi, don't know.
Tazi Starfire Letterboxd.
The movie's called I Care a Lot. It's got Rosamund and Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, I remember that.
The initial premise of the movie is very interesting.
Let's go back to WandaVision. We can talk about a Care a Lot and a different thing. I have a lot to say about WandaVision.
Netflix. We can talk about.
If you want to listen to the Film Feast, the Film Riot podcast, listen to it. It's really informative, really good. Ryan's awesome.
Yeah, I do think listening to that podcast is still my problems with the movie aside is very helpful. But back to WandaVision. And all of the
hold on. I do want to recognize Brent's face right now.
Well, because this lady looks this lady looks really familiar, and I can't think of where I've seen her before.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Justin.
Maybe it's Gone Girl.
This is where
might be what I saw her from.
This is probably Gone Girl. This is where I'm coming at with the whole WandaVision thing, and obviously I'm in the minority of crazy comic book fans. I don't read all the comics. I mostly just watch the movies, and I have an enjoyment of those movies. So
you watched YouTube like comic history. Like YouTube videos about the comic histories, like the comic books and stuff?
I haven't really. But anyway, this is where I'm going with this is even if you are a comic fan, if you watch these movies and these TV series, you have to take them for what they are, not what you hoped they were. They introduced Evan Peters as Quicksilver so that people would recognize him as Quicksilver, but he's not Quicksilver in this universe. That is exactly why they introduced him. So you cannot, by the end of the series, when they finally explain exactly what it is, and that he was just Ralph the entire time.
Boner.
That was I didn't realize that. Matt Shackman said that was a reference to Growing Pains, which he was a child actor on. So that's why his last name is Boner. They weren't trying to rub it in the face of the fan. Haha, we have the X-Men Quicksilver, and now we're gonna make it a boner joke. You thought it was a multiverse.
Are people getting mad about that?
Which also really mad. No, people are getting mad about it, which I think is dumb because in the part where they do the, it was Agatha. Spoilers for this entire
Spoilers
thing.
Yeah,
I guess maybe just put that in the beginning, Tazi. Spoiler.
Wait, who's doing the intro for that? They'll just do it then.
I don't know.
I think it's your turn.
I think it's my turn. I think I have 2 that I owe you, to be honest. And I should do this one because this one, Tazi, this one should probably be released sooner than the other ones that we've recorded.
Why?
Because we're talking about WandaVision. So you don't want to release it.
You don't want to release it later. It's going to be. We should not do it as episode 6 because it's going to be very out of date by then.
Yeah, you should do this one sooner rather than
maybe like episode. I mean, it's going to be a little out.
We'll figure that out later. We'll talk about that later.
But anyway,
hey, we just watched that. But yeah,
Brent talking about Agatha.
Agatha, they show her
controlling
him, and what I thought was that she was just like projecting him, like if he wasn't real, and she was just trying to mess with Wanda by making a Quicksilver person. And so at that point, I thought everybody would be like, "Oh yeah, it's not actually Quicksilver." And then everybody who was there is their identity is different because Wanda is messing with them, and from that it shows that Agatha is messing with him. So it's like why did you continue thinking that it was the actual Quicksilver when obviously it showed from the like the world that was built from Wanda controlling everybody and taking their real personalities and changing them to something else?
I think the reason why I will say this, I think the reason why people are so livid about it is because that is basically confirming that there's not going to be a crossover ever. Really?
Well,
they basically solidified this. If they go back on it, then that'd piss me off even more.
I think it will depend on the character. I think Hugh Jackman might come back and get his own.
He said he'd only do it if it was in an Avengers movie. He'd only be Wolverine again if he was in an Avengers movie.
Hugh Jackman just wants the monies.
I want Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He's a really good Wolverine.
Yeah, he's dead though. Leave him dead.
Yeah, I know. I think they should leave him dead.
I think they should just.
But I think that's
Logan was so freaking good that you can't ruin it by bringing him back.
In that case, Evan Peters Quicksilver is also dead in the X-Men universe. He is dead in Old Man Logan.
Yes, he is dead in Old Man Logan, but Old Man Logan could be later.
Old Man Future is everybody.
That's why I was.
So that means Hugh Jackman could still be alive.
A multi-universe, absolutely.
Yeah,
But now they can't.
Why
because
not?
Evan Peters can't be Quicksilver because he's not Quicksilver. You can't bring him back.
Why can't he be Quicksilver and Ralph?
I hate you.
No, because why can't he be both? We had Rhodey change actors.
I didn't like that either. They screwed that actor up.
My point is, but it still happened. My point is
I know it happened.
If down the line they decide, for one, also just to say this, I don't know if this has been put out there publicly, but it was something that I got to discuss while I was working on WandaVision, which was Evan Peters. If I remember correctly, Marvel higher ups didn't necessarily want him in the role. And it was the writers that really pushed for it because they wanted that connection to this is a Quicksilver that you as the audience and Wanda in this case want to believe is Quicksilver, but it's not. And they keep shoving it down your throats that it's not. But the audience and Wanda, it's not until he is outright antagonistic towards her that she is like, okay, no, you're not. Get away from me.
I think he says that he says like I've died and your husband also died. He didn't die again, but I'm pretty sure he says that he died. Something like that. But yeah,
I will say to that though, that specifically, if the execs this is where I think a producer's role would come into play. If they have some sort of like future head knowledge saying that we're going to bring them in, we're going to bring, a multiverse, we're going to bring the X-Men into the Avengers and all of this stuff or whatever their like future plans are. If they have that preconceived knowledge already and they still let this TV show do this, I think that's BS. I think that's irresponsible, and I think that it ruins the character for me as Evan Peters. Evan Peters is such a great, like a phenomenal Quicksilver that you just basically solidify. That's why everybody's so mad. You solidified him to Ralph Bohner, which is a nobody who is an actor. It's. I don't know. I think that
I think that's discrediting his performance in WandaVision.
No, I don't think that at all. I think he's a great Ralph Bohner, but he's not a Quicksilver. So if you're going to bring him in later,
in the MCU is dead. Quicksilver in the MCU is dead, and so
he's saying that stops
I understand that
doing
people,
the multiverse thing.
Here's what I'm thinking. Right now, what is happening is what happened to Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron as a standalone movie is actually pretty good, but at the time it was released, it was the first time that Marvel had announced a slate of films afterwards, and people were looking at Age of Ultron as a movie that was going to set up everything else, instead of like it was simply its own thing that kicks stuff down the road. Just how Marvel has always operated. They tell a self-contained story that in turn kicks something else down the road. And WandaVision did that, but people wanted it to be this weird multiverse setup. People wanted it to introduce the big bad of the entire next phase in Mephisto, which we don't even know if it will be Mephisto or if they are going to have a big bad for the next phase. And they didn't look at it as this is the story of Wanda going through the stages of grief. And so when you have to take Evan Peters as who he was in this story, which again, we've explained why he was in the story for the sake of us as the audience needing to know he was Quicksilver, but he wasn't Quicksilver, which I think they did a great job in that.
No, and I think all of that works. I'm not opposed to what happened. I'm just opposed now if they do bring the multiverse in, they can't use Evan Peters. I hate when companies do that. I hated it when they did that with what's his face, when they screwed over the other roadie and they just put another buddy in because Iron Man wanted $8 million. Like, I want consistency with these characters because each character plays it differently. The two actors played Rhodey differently. I love the newer Rhodey better, but it's still different. In the second movie, it was off-putting. It was like, wow, this is a totally different Rhodey character than I'm used to. And
I'm here, get over it, get used to it.
I didn't see Iron Man 1 before seeing Iron Man 2.
I think Iron Man 2 is the first
Iron Man 2 was, we were not allowed to see Iron Man at the time, Christian family. My family didn't know how to interpret Iron Man.
I'm surprised it's on Disney Plus, like with the innuendos and everything.
Because there's an implied sex scene.
Yeah.
When I watch. Well, I mean, she doesn't take all her clothes off, so that's why.
No, I understand that.
But anyway,
she shouldn't take her clothes off. They made it rated R.
Let's be honest.
Just go all the way. We're just gonna do it.
Okay,
just do it.
Okay, we want to go down.
You didn't have to do it, but we can.
Tarzan is a baby in the beginning of that movie.
Another time.
Implied sex scene. Jeez, let's talk about that one. Jane and Tarzan. Tarzan altogether is just kind of like one big porno.
Implied sex.
Just implied. He's pretty
half
much naked all the time. She slowly loses clothes during that entire movie.
Oh, God.
One
bad. And like wind gusts, and then you see everything.
Yeah, what's the point of his?
Tarzan. Oh no,
like just don't wear anything at all.
Yeah, it's.
If I was Tarzan, I just would just be free balling all day long.
No.
Why is he even wearing a diaper?
If he was raised
by gorillas, he would be completely naked. Same with Mowgli. Mowgli is wearing a diaper. Like, why is he wearing?
Gorilla penises are better than human penises.
Yeah, the gorillas don't wear clothes. Why are they?
Tazi, how do you know that?
I have personal
Tazi, that's a little sus.
A little sus there.
Talking about little gorilla.
Let's not start with the whole sus thing. I hate that word.
Okay, fine.
You don't find it that pog?
Tazi, you just don't like that word because you can't say it without sounding like a boomer.
Sus.
I don't know what you're doing, but you
do I look cool? Do I look hip?
No, you don't. You look like a Karen trying to hide her identity.
You look like Steve Buscemi.
What's up,
I can't remember what he's in, but he's like, "What am
a gangster, fellow
kids?"
Let me put in my earpods, bro, so I can do some business.
Tazi, you might want to stop now.
No. Tazi, the way you're talking right now, you remind me of an Instagram salesman, like who sells Pokemon cards.
Let me put some earpods in and make a call.
Just chilling and see the rap
your phone. Holy. I probably am a boomer, like at heart.
Oh no, you're definitely a boomer at heart, Tazi.
Am I?
I mean, what are you like? 29, 42.
Right now, Brent's over there zooming. I'm a Zillennial going in circles. You're also a Zillennial, but
I'm a Zillennial. What is that? It's someone because the decades are kind of, or the generations are kind of like
they're generational wealth, guys. We need to build up generational wealth before we die for all of our children.
Agree
because they can't make it on their own.
Jeez, Tazi,
let him talk.
I'm trying to explain this to you. Everybody doesn't totally agree. It's usually within to like 3 to 5 years difference, but like the different generations start. So Gen Z is about like, I think it's like 98 to 95. It's somewhere in there is where the Gen Z and millennials split. So like people born from like 98 to 99-ish are kind of like the people who are like, they're both almost because
a lot of millennials grew up, like were born right when computers were getting invented, and then the internet came after. Not computers getting invented. Computers have been around for a while, but like the internet, like the modern
kind of thing.
Yeah, like, so they're like millennials are mostly going to have
original guy with the crappy.
Yeah, I was there when Steve Jobs was up on stage.
That one.
Yeah, like that one, yeah. And Zillennials are more like we remember that time of early computers, but we fully basically grown up with modern technology versus most Zoomers
like floppy disks.
Yeah, like I remember floppy. I know
memes of floppy disks. I don't remember actually physically having.
I didn't have any personal
technology. I didn't have any personal technology until I was 16. I got my first.
Well, no personal technology, but we had like our family had a computer, and I remember it had a floppy disk drive on it, and we had like a like not a CD case, but we also had that because that's when discs were still like more popular. I mean, there's still like people still get discs nowadays, but everything's about WandaVision now.
Yeah,
I will say this about WandaVision. My biggest concern with WandaVision is the and I know it's not necessarily supposed to be Marvel-esque, but I wanted to see action. Like when I watch Marvel films, I am all about that action, baby.
Here's the thing.
The last battle was garbage. Absolute garbage.
Tazi, I want you to know that you're in the absolute minority.
I think
more people, especially on Reddit, have been mad that they had a fight scene at the end at all. That they wish that they had not done a fight scene at all.
I think you're in the minority group.
No. I think here's the thing. I
don't know how minority that is, but I mean, I think some people
are clearly a minority.
Well, no. You are okay. When was the last time you were on Reddit, Tazi?
Here's the thing.
I don't get on Reddit.
That's why you don't know what you're talking about.
Doesn't have technology.
I don't think he's in the minority, but the final fight scene was a little weird. But everybody did want more action in it from the beginning because everybody thought it was too slow for like the first 5 to 6 episodes because there was no action.
I was like,
everybody
this
wanted...
is the only new content from Marvel. I have to watch this. I can't skip it.
But it was still good. It was still like just
it was a character-driven
TV.
thing.
It was character-driven, and it didn't have to rely on the action.
I feel like the first few episodes before they got into the meat and grunt of things wasn't actually... I mean, yes, you were building up these characters who we already know and love.
I mean, they had 11 minutes of screen time prior to this. So establishing exactly what their current relationship was while still sprinkling in some sense of like mystery. And I think after looking back at it in retrospect, those first 2 episodes, after you see the reveal of Wanda growing up with these sitcoms, those wacky situations tell you so much more about Wanda and why she wanted to live her life like that, because these small problems were so much easier to comprehend than the death of literally almost everyone she's loved.
Yeah. When we come back from the ad roll, I want to talk about the credit scene.
Okay, here,
let's just runtime of every episode
now then.
Yo, real quick, if you want to support us, go to patreon.com/filmfeast. And if you want to contact us, feel free to do so at info.filmfeast@gmail.com. Again, that's info.filmfeast@gmail.com. All right, later.
Talk about what you were going to talk about.
Yeah, okay. I'm recording now. All right, so I will say this about the end credits. They're freaking way too long. And I get it. I get it for like the first episode, like because there's some symbolism to the end credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
But they're way too long.
I mean, the credits?
They're so long. The credits,
Just the credits. Yeah, the credits.
Because you do this, like, this credits thing or whatever, and then you have, an end credit scene or a mid credit scene, and then you have an end credit scene. So I get the format of it, but the initial credits is like 5 minutes of just the same graphic going over with, the normal people that are in the show or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it once.
Take away from the...
No, but I'm just saying the format of it. I hated that format because when you look at the timestamp, I'm about to explain. Okay, so just let me explain. All right, because it's pissing me off.
Okay, continue.
When you look at the timestamp or the running time of the film, right? You actually only get about, say, like 20 minutes of actual content. It feels like, because you have the regular Marvel intro, which is forever also in every single episode, and then you have the content, the actual show, which is 20. What was the average? Like 20 minutes or so?
Like 25 minutes.
Did it depend on
the whole thing? Is like 6 hours long.
The average episode was about, the runtime was about like 30 to 35 minutes, I think, something like that.
But is that the actual show?
So
or
if you take away 8 minutes from that, it's about maybe like a 25-minute episode. So like most TV, like serialized TVs, or like no,
not anymore though. That's my point. Is nowadays when you watch like a Netflix original or whatever, it's like an hour long. It's like 45 minutes long with the credits and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's like 55 minutes with the credits and all that stuff, because they have short credits and short intros or whatever.
But okay, here's the thing.
But my point is I've been trained to like watch an hour block of footage, hour block of content at a time, and now I'm watching 30 minutes, and the majority of that is not
majority is a strong word.
It's not the majority.
Also, it's built off of old shows,
but it feels like the majority of it because it's over so quick.
But
it's also
those
because
old sitcoms and stuff like that were that long, and like the later episodes where they did, or like the like the Monica one, that one was like 30-35 minutes of just of like actual show, I'm pretty sure. And
the main reason
last episode was long too. It's because those ones are more of the modern stuff.
The main reason the episodes are also that short is the budget. It is a feature film budget for a TV show, so they can't make the episodes an hour long. They especially on their very first TV show, we might start getting longer episodes as the series go on, and they know that it's more of a sure thing. Like HBO started off giving Game of Thrones a TV budget. You watch that first season, you can tell like the episodes are an hour long, but you can tell the production quality wasn't quite there compared to the final season, where all the episodes are feature-length movies by themselves. They all individually have the budgets of feature-length films.
And also the credits thing, I think, like, just because the credits are long doesn't mean you have to watch them or anything like that. And then
I don't watch them, but now content, and Disney Plus doesn't have a thing.
I think that's just setting I think that's just setting yourself up for like.
No, I don't care.
Skip to the mid, just
watch the thing. Don't
you can't just scroll through with Disney Plus. It scrolls 10 seconds at a time. You'll scroll past a little bit of the
Take your mouse.
I don't watch it on the desktop. I'm not a peasant. I watch it on my TV. I have to use the Roku remote.
Oh, that's weird.
Is it weird? Because I feel like that's the majority of how people watch content is on the television.
Xbox works the exact same. PS would work the same way as the Xbox. So basically,
I don't know how Apple TV would work.
No, it's Disney Plus as the content. When you skip using the button, I'm telling you, I'm not lying.
Well, with
it's
us,
10
with
seconds at a time, and so
with us with the stick,
it's not 10 seconds.
You can just kind of like.
I know you guys watch on the Xbox. I'm just saying. I'm telling you guys this is my frustration. And that they shouldn't do this.
Okay, but here's the thing: you shouldn't hate a show based on that. You can't.
The show. I'm hating Disney.
You seem very.
You're just so vitriolic about this. You're so mad about this.
Because I missed part of I jumped 10 seconds into the.
You would have thought that they advertised the show as an hour-long show, and half an hour of it was credits.
It felt like
but
it.
They didn't advertise it.
All the
but they didn't advertise it.
Don't
as
watch
that,
all the
and
credits.
that's your
But I have
fault
to
for
skip
watching
through
all
of the credits.
Why are you skipping?
Why are
through
you
credits?
skipping through all the
How are you doing that?
Because there's end credits and there's a mid-credit scene.
There were
those
only
scenes,
3.
I jumped 10 seconds ahead and I missed 10 seconds.
In the last
there were only
episodes.
in the last 3 episodes where there were end credit scenes.
I know, but it's still 3 of the episodes.
I didn't even know there were end credit scenes until the second to last episode when I saw on Reddit there were end credit scenes.
Well, I knew there was. So.
Which, to be honest, they didn't really. The only thing they did was just a teaser for the next episode. It wasn't even anything like super important. It was just kind of like a little tease for next episode, which wasn't. I mean, it's not anything.
Oh, but it's quick more note stuff I want to watch. Doesn't matter if it's important or not. It's more Marvel content that I want to consume.
Quick note on these for everyone who seems to be confused by the second end credit scene where Elizabeth Olsen, where Scarlet Witch. It's very clear Scarlet Witch is in the cabin, and if anyone watched Doctor Strange, you know that's how he learned all his information. She's just studying. She's projecting her astral form to study while she lives her life, which is happened in Doctor Strange.
Well, not necessarily lives her life, yes, but it's also like a defense mechanism. If anybody comes around, they see her body.
But within Doctor Strange, it was explained. While he's sleeping, he studies.
Yeah. But I'm saying you can't. If somebody came to the cabin and was like, "Hey, is anybody here?" They're gonna see her body, and she's gonna be able to interact with that person and still be able to study at the same time. It's also like a defense thing too.
I mean, I feel like that's I'm more just connecting it to Doctor Strange, where there's one scene.
The whole thing is great. I will say this: you guys want me to give some compliments to WandaVision?
Yes, please.
Yes. I know everybody wants that. Everybody knows these things, though. So it's like I want to point out the bad stuff because somebody might not have recognized this, and I want to make them aware.
That's how CinemaSins started out, Tazi, and look at them now.
Yeah, they're popular and make probably millions of
dollars.
No,
actually, they probably do, but they suck, and their audience
still make money.
I think it was so toxic.
I find it hilarious because
their audience is so toxic, man. They
after Kong, I think they lost a ton of viewers because the Kong director was like, "What the heck, dude? You're screwing over my movie." Because of your stupid
and
there's a point when we can talk about CinemaSins later because somebody made a anti-CinemaSins thing, which was you just jumped, you glitched, and it reminded me of what I wanted to say. So,
okay,
the good stuff, because I was getting off topic.
Okay, yeah.
The good stuff about it is we got white vision now because we couldn't get a black one.
Tazi, don't make jokes like that.
What the heck, Tazi?
Tazi.
What was that about?
I thought it was funny. It's okay. You guys.
What does that even mean?
Tazi, the only implication. Oh my gosh, Tazi, stop.
What, that Disney's racist?
No.
Well, that's a discussion for another time.
Well, okay. Here's the thing: when he died in Infinity War, spoiler warning. When he died
oh, thank you for saying that.
When Vision just got murdered. By the way, spoiler warning.
When Thanos murked Vision by just kind of
when Thanos just windmilled down onto Vision's head to pull that stone out.
Doesn't even happen, you knave. There is no Flash. Thanos is a man of getting things done.
Yeah, he did.
Boom, boom.
You go, Thanos.
Armor. That's why.
We can talk about Thanos' morality.
Go to work.
Is Thanos a good guy or a bad guy?
I agree with Thanos 100%.
Yes, 100%. Let's just kill off
half the world.
We need another plague. Oh, wait.
I need a house, like a big house, and I'm sure if I'm not one to go, I will take that risk for a house. We'll all have living.
What, a house?
Yeah, we will all have somewhere to live.
What does that have to do with Thanos?
You think kill half the population so we all have places to live. Hazi, Tazi. Anyway, you were saying we got White Vision after.
You know what we really need?
Which
Hunger
when
Games.
in Infinity War, I knew they were gonna bring him back just because I did a little research on Vision when he first came out in Age of Ultron, because I just loved his character so much.
Also, Paul Bettany is amazing.
Scene,
with him and Ultron.
Yes, good. Oh,
great moment.
There's a whole YouTube video about it, and I agree with
100% of
one marvelous scene.
One marvelous scene guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what his YouTube channel is called.
There is a series of there. If you Google one marvelous scene, there's like 7 different channels that did it, and it was really good.
Oh yeah, but I agree 100%.
Was it Nando Me? I think it might have been Nando V.
So, I'm trying to tell you guys.
I'm looking it up. His name is Nando V. No. The one I saw was Josh Boy 64.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
2 robots stood in the woods, reflected on existence.
There's a few of them out there, and it's such
Nando,
a
it wasn't Nando.
beautiful
Nando
scene.
did the.
Oh wait, was this a series that just a bunch of different YouTubers did with each other, and they just each picked a scene from a movie?
Hey Brent, real quick, turn a light on.
No, here, I'll do that. I was on the YouTube, which is in dark mode.
Oh, I see. But anyway, continue. Ultron, love him.
Love that scene. Love that movie. Very underrated movie.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's an amazing film. And freaking what's his face? Guy that does Blacklist. Ultron's.
Jason Spader. I think it's Jason Spader. James Spader. That's it.
It's James. Yeah, James.
Spader.
James, beautiful voice. Love his voice. Perfectly matches Ultron.
Amazing. Exactly he is the Lizard King.
Yeah, it's a great film. Beautifully casted. All that. Whole night. Fell in love with Vision. Did research on Vision, who he is. The comics, YouTubes, stuff like that.
We knew him from Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, right, Justin? That's what it's called.
Ultron? I just love the idea that
Vision. Well, yeah, but like all the Marvel stuff is what we got from Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I think it is. It was a show. It's on Disney Plus. I liked it.
Anyway,
well, I just love the idea of that. I really love the superpower first, and then I just trickled down to the history, and I just fell in love with the character that way, right? And I knew that they were going to bring him back because he's such a pivotal character in the comics world for the Avengers. I
think just everybody loved him.
What's his new? I mean, he's still Vision, but there is a new name for him, right? What is his new name? I can't remember.
White Vision.
Is.
No, I think they just called him
something else, right?
I don't think so. I think they just called him Vision.
I'm not nerdy enough to know that answer.
I think there is another name for him, but regardless, I knew they were going to bring him in as that after he died, and I was so excited when the end credit scene revealed that they were going to do that. I was like, yeah, I can't wait for the next episode. I was super excited, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I was thinking. The first thing I thought was sick, Vision on Vision battle, right? It's gonna be epic, right? And then they did the scene with the dialogue,
with the boat part.
Yeah,
the boat.
That was such a great scene.
Such a great scene. People are sleeping on that scene.
No, I think everybody on Reddit, everyone's I feel 10 times smarter after watching that one scene.
You know why I love that scene is that is one of the original way. Well, in Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that's how they defeat Ultron. So they just sort of
is it really?
They can't beat him. To him about they need to protect because Ultron's thing is to protect humanity. We need to kill humanity, and then I think it's they say, but Ultron,
you're killing humanity.
To protect humanity, you are hurting them. Therefore, to protect humanity, you need to kill yourself.
So they basically destroy Ultron by putting him into a loop of
Dormammu?
Well, no, what's it called? The robots in Portal, where you have to give them a paradox, and if they can't comprehend paradoxes, or else they basically blow
so
up.
That was such a great scene, seeing the two of them go together and have that discussion of the paradox of who is Vision. Oh, it was so good.
So good.
Also, again, for
when
anyone
he
who was
just
confused,
took off and left, I was like, yes.
For anyone who is still confused about this, Wanda's vision does not transfer memories to White Vision. He unlocks them. White Vision says, I have memories, but they are locked away. And as we saw throughout the entirety of the series, Vision had the ability to unlock people's minds from whatever was So that's what
I don't.
does.
Well, I don't think that's the case because Agatha does that as well. I think that's just
he also doesn't have.
Can do it.
But the point is that's what he's doing. He's unlocking.
He has the ability as well
because
to do that.
Because
he has the ability.
Vision has no memories because he's just a projection of what Wanda made. Whereas the White Vision was Vision. The only thing he's missing is the Mind Stone. Yeah. And then the power source is different, but because the Mind
for
Stone
everyone
is
who's
there.
confused why he just flies away, is because he doesn't have the Mind Stone. So a robot can have memory but not associate emotion with it. So
it's like
in this case, that's sort of what's happening. He's a robot with memory who understands what's going on, and I'm sure we'll explore it more in later movies. But that's why he didn't just turn around and go find Wanda, because he has no emotional connection to Wanda.
Yeah, he just has memories of just
who she is.
The whole thing. All of Vision's memories, he has Vision's
up until his death.
It's probably like I mean, I don't think they'll do the exact same thing because we literally just did it, but it seems kind of like a Bucky, Winter Soldier kind of situation that's going on, where he's like starting to he remembers the stuff, but he doesn't really know what's going on yet, so he is to go.
I don't think that will be the case.
It probably won't because it's pretty in recent memory, and it's something that Marvel has already done, so they'll probably do something different. But
I don't think that's going to be the case at all, really, because his brain doesn't function as like. It's not a brain, so it's not.
No. It's not gonna. Memories. It's not gonna happen.
He's been unlocked. Now he has everything. I don't think that's going to be the scenario.
No. Yeah. He has everything. He's just trying to figure out how, he's just trying to figure everything out. So he's like, I need to go figure this out, and goes away, kind of thing.
But because he was unlocked, I do have this question. You guys might know more about this. There was certain protocol that what's his face, which I think they ended his character very poorly.
The director, I hated how they did that.
Yeah,
that was kind of
annoying. She just kind of hit him with a car, and then he's just like, okay, he's done.
No, how they couldn't get out of the other
side.
How
his motivations make sense.
Trunk.
One, I liked the conflict in that show because there was no Agatha was the only bad person, but even Agatha wasn't evil. And that's why I was a little annoyed where they were like, and she killed the dog to make her evil.
She's been evil. That's one thing I had when the first time that episode came out. I was like, okay, everything they've shown her do isn't really been evil. Making Ralph Quicksilver, making him think he's Quicksilver, that doesn't seem like an evil thing. And then killing the dog, I know it's killing a dog, but it's probably it might be a fake dog, I don't know, but it's killing a dog. But it also helps Wanda because she explains to the kids you need to let go.
The kids were looking for the dog and all
exactly
that stuff.
Yeah, you need to let go of the things that you love. You need to let go of the things you love. And I'm like, that seems like a good thing. It seems like she's trying to help. It seems like she's helping Wanda get over her grief and accept that Vision died.
The whole
we
process.
need to know that he died. But then they're like, Agatha's been behind every evil thing that's happened, and nothing they showed about what she was doing was
WandaVision is doing all the evil stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Wanda was the one who
now
inadvertently is doing the evil things, but still she knows
doing. No, she
doesn't
fully aware of what she's doing.
Aware of it, but she knows what she's doing. She doesn't know how she's doing it, but she is conscious that it is happening.
She doesn't have evil intent behind it. Yeah. She probably doesn't understand that she is.
Well, she did have some sort. She has to have had some form of evil intent, or maybe it is.
I think it's
selfish, not evil intent. It's selfish.
No. When she's
aware of her intent that she is controlling this group of people, and that they are. She thinks she's giving them better lives. I think what Brent's trying to say is she doesn't necessarily know that she's mentally torturing them, because it's in the last episode that they admit to her that they're like, "You are mentally torturing us," and she's like, "Oh my gosh, what have I been doing?" But back to I want to go back to the Hayward. Finish what you're saying. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
Sorry, this is part of this. When I don't know if it was Agatha, but who Wanda was talking to, but when she said "I already am," she was talking to somebody, and somebody said something like "You don't want to turn into the bad guy" or something like that. And she's like, "I already am," or whatever the context of that is. And so she has some form of knowledge that she is a bad guy, or maybe it is not that she thinks she's a bad person, but that she thinks she's not good enough to be a good person. Yeah. If that makes sense, because of her past with whatever the experimental organization was. Was that Hydra? Yeah. I don't know if that wasn't Hydra.
No, it's Sword.
It was Sword.
No, before all of that. Before
that was Hydra that gave Wanda and Quicksilver their powers.
That was Hydra. Okay, yeah,
that's Hydra. Yeah, it's the remnant of Hydra, and they have the staff.
Strucker.
Like
Strucker's the.
No, that is Strucker.
Is it Strucker? Okay.
That's Strucker. Who's in the beginning?
I'm all over the place.
I'm so mad that they killed Strucker because we watched Avengers.
He didn't die.
He's dead.
Well,
Ultron kills Strucker. They show a video of him in his
when he goes
Ultron murders
him.
You're
right. Yeah.
And Strucker was one of the main villains in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and he has this like really cool like age sucking gauntlet that
just sucks the life out of people.
Really cool villain. I loved him, and then he just makes jokes and then they kill him. I hated that. But anyway, back to Hayward. I liked WandaVision, and reading the scripts, this was my takeaway as well, that I didn't like how they wrapped things up that much.
Yeah, me neither.
That some of the characters worked really well. I think Wanda worked really well. Monica was wasted in the last episode. Hayward was wasted in the last episode. Yeah. I think, and obviously Wanda and Vision are the center characters.
I don't know if Darcy has a future, but she was definitely
Darcy was so wasted. She gets that moment where she drives into the car and then she vanishes. Randall Park was wasted in the finale. He sort of gets a little bit of it at the end where he gets to take control of the situation, but that was never really his motivation. He just wanted to sort of figure out what's going on and do what was right.
The kids were good though. The kids were good.
But yes, that last scene, that Hayward versus Monica.
Maybe not the last scene, but the last scene with.
I wonder how they're going to bring them back because they
are.
They have to.
They don't have to.
They're a very pivotal. They have a really big pivotal.
They had them in that last scene when she's doing her thing. They had the kids yelling.
Huh?
They did
in the one where she's doing the meditation thing.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure they had the kids like yelling.
Yeah, they will bring.
Really? Oh, I didn't hear that.
But my thing was I didn't know how they were gonna bring them back, bring the kids back, and if they could bring the kids back, why wouldn't she just bring back also the actual like Vision? If she could actually bring her children back based on the last scene, she's doing all of this research or whatever. Maybe a lot of people are saying the kids are in the other in like a different universe.
Yeah.
Maybe like an actual other universe.
Maybe that's what they're hinting at, is that she's trying to learn.
I mean, she's going to be in Multiverse of Madness, right?
That might be the tie-in, that she's trying to learn a way. Yeah, it is confirmed. It was confirmed when they announced the movie. They said it was going to star Elizabeth Olsen and Benedict Cumberbatch.
And he'll cumber him.
But that might be she's learning how to bring them back, and that's the tease. I want to go back to the Hayward and Monica thing because this bothers me. Like, they have a great conflict of, one, they're both authority figures in this organization, but Hayward is the upper hand.
She's not.
But she was like, her mom started it.
She would have been in Hayward's position.
Your mother started this thing.
But also she would have been in Hayward's position if she was not snapped.
If she was not snapped, she would be where Hayward.
She would have had that job.
But where I'm going with this is that was an interesting dynamic. That Hayward wasn't evil. He was just trying to get people on his side. It's why he doctors the footage for Monica, because he understands.
Yeah, they made him out to be this evil being.
Yeah, Monica's an idealist. She's someone who wants to see the good in everyone, and and I feel like it was a realist. He's like, it doesn't.
But like, legitimately, if you saw what Wanda's going through, Wanda was doing, you would also probably do what Hayward did and be like, okay, she's like imprisoned like hundreds of people in here, and we don't know what she's doing. And then the one time they actually see her, she comes out and like threatens him with his own troops.
Yeah, and so I don't really necessarily like with the whole trying to change how the audience views Wanda every episode. It feels weird because some of the episodes they want you to feel like she's the bad person, and then vice versa. And
I think it's just the perspective you see it from, because the ones where you see that she's like the bad guy are the ones that are from, like, the first time you see it is with the Monica thing when she's like, your brother was killed by Ultron. And so that's like from Monica's perspective almost. And then from then on, the only time you really see her as evil, I'm pretty sure, is like when she's interacting with the sword people.
I think they were revealing information, and then it's not necessarily that the writers were trying to flip-flop back and forth. It's that we're reacting differently based on how we were interpreting our actions, versus Hayward, who how you interpret whether he's evil or not, or whether he's doing the right thing or not, is up to your own. Like, his motivations are his own until the end. Him shooting the kids made no sense. He just gets out of the car, pulls his gun out, and tries to shoot two children. He does it like, what?
So off character. It doesn't make any sense. And I think the reason why they did it, which I think this is a terrible reason to do it, was to show more of Monica's new abilities.
That's exactly what they were trying to do. Well, also, they didn't know what to do with Monica at the end. They needed to have some sort of intellectual debate for Monica and Hayward at the end. They needed their ideologies to clash to the point of some sort of resolution. And they didn't know. They didn't know that, though. And maybe they didn't need to do it, but that's what they set up Hayward. They needed to get rid of Hayward, so they're like, okay, he's gonna shoot some kids, and we're gonna show off Monica's powers, and that's the end of their story. That's it.
Because Justin, you pointed this out earlier when we were talking, is that the first time Wanda shoots Agatha, she's like, I'm absorbing your power. And she's like, annoyed me. And then she keeps shooting her. Whereas they could have had Monica like talk with Wanda or something like that and been like, hey, I can't fight her, but you can, because you got superpowers now. And because it felt like her superpower thing. I mean, it's setting up for later her going to be in other stuff, but it felt like she used her superpowers like once, and it was like, okay, cool. Yeah, whereas they could have used her to fight Agatha, because Wanda is showing that Wanda is getting sucked. The power sucked out of her.
For anything, it would have been a smarter anything. It would have justified giving Monica powers, at least within the context of WandaVision.
Of that show, yeah.
Because obviously her powers as a character in the comics, she is a superpowered character. Yeah. But and that's, I think, the best ending is, one, it made Wanda look like an idiot. Like, Wanda should have lost that battle, because she's just continually shooting Agatha with her powers, even though she knows they have absolutely no effect and actively hurt her. That's like saying, I'm going to shoot this gun at my foot repeatedly until I win. It's like, what? No.
And why didn't she fall out of the sky when she was supposedly out of power?
No, it would have made more.
Well, I think at that point she was probably just faking it to make.
But Agatha she was discolored, wasn't she? Was discolored.
She was. Yeah, but she could. She's like a witch. She could like change that about herself. It's like, she could probably do that.
I mean,
I don't know. Probably.
She was not knowledgeable enough.
She was actively letting her powers get drained by Agatha, but it was a sort of a lazy way to write it. They wanted to get to the point where Wanda is starting to understand her powers more, and so she learns the lesson of the runes in the room that only one witch can use. Great idea. You could have executed it better.
Good setup.
And here's the thing: I know that the way everything was written, that those drafts of the script were coming in very late. They changed the ending a lot. Matt Chapman said it again. I said Shatman again. Matt Shackman talked about this some, and while I was there, they talked about this. Originally, it was 10 episodes, and they had a different ending. It's one of the reasons
that probably would have been a better episode.
It's one of the reasons why the original director of Doctor Strange left, because he was getting so frustrated with how many times they changed the ending of the show.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm just done. And so they brought in Raimi once the show had sort of settled, and they had settled on the 9 episodes, and they had settled on where the show would end.
Sam Raimi? He's doing Doctor Strange?
He's doing Doctor Strange.
Wait, what? I feel like I might have heard that before.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right now
on the show.
Yeah. But I will agree with the people who are criticizing WandaVision. It's not an uncriticizable show. I think there's a lot of enjoyable stuff about it, but like all of Marvel, nothing is perfect. Like even though I really love Endgame, it's not perfect. I think the closest to perfect you get is like Infinity War.
I think Infinity War was definitely
like that's probably but even Infinity War isn't perfect.
Infinity War or Civil War
and Winter Soldier probably
maybe
the first Soldier. The first Iron Man's got like the ending battle.
The first Avengers is pretty solid.
Yeah, but anyway, the point is that people who are judging this show, I would say there are going to be problems with it, but please do not judge this show based on your fan theory that you came up with or what you wish they had done. You know, I wish they had used Monica powers more.
I'm judging it,
but I'm not going to judge it on that. I still liked the ending, even though they didn't utilize Monica more.
why Game of Thrones got ruined and kind of how Star Wars got ruined is because of overzealous fans.
No, I wouldn't say Game of Thrones got ruined by overzealous fans. Game of Thrones got ruined because the ending of Game of Thrones is not as good as the first 3 seasons of the show. Like, you can tell that they broke their own internal rules of how they were writing it. Characters acted out of character just because the writers needed them to do something. Like, at least in this show, like, I might be frustrated that Wanda kept shooting Agatha with her beam, even though she knew it would just hurt herself. It's not necessarily out of character for Wanda to do that. Wanda isn't Tony Stark and Wanda isn't Doctor Strange. She's not necessarily the most intelligent character that would immediately be able to analyze that his attacks weren't working and needs to try a new approach.
Yeah.
She is a raw, powerful person who's used to just punching people with her red blasts. So it stands to reason, even though she knows it might not work, she might keep trying in the hope that it will work. And obviously she figured out another way of defeating her.
I will say this. I gave it a 3.5 stars.
Oh my gosh,
Tazi. On Letterboxd. If you want to
stop telling people to follow you on Letterboxd.
On that note, we should probably wrap this up.
Hold on. I want to tell you guys what my review was, the actual words that I used. Okay. Slow beginning and the ending felt anticlimactic. Loved Vision in the last episode, but the battle between Wanda and the antagonist of the series is weak and predictable. Overall, glad they progressed the Marvel Cinematic Universe to set up the second Doctor Strange. I think that wraps up the WandaVision Season 1 review pretty well, in my opinion.
I'd probably give it, to be honest, I'd probably give it a 3.5 out of 5 as well. Maybe a little higher. I don't know. Maybe I could be.
I gave it a 3.5.
No, I'm saying I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you that I think that's probably a good way to do it. I think I'm very happy that they tried something different in terms of how they did it, how they shot it. I don't
effort.
like I don't want there to necessarily be a giant fight and action sequences every time. If they can convince me with some interesting conflict, interesting characters, I'll be happy with it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to future Marvel content that they are going to create.
Yeah, I think Go ahead.
I was going to say we should probably wrap up because we are getting a little long. We're about, I think, like an hour and 10 right now. Okay. So I guess
people love us, so it's fine.
Isn't this the first episode?
The first episode.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So I guess after that, this hour and 10-minute episode, they better like us by then, Todd.
I know, right?
They're gonna be.
But I do want to say this. I do think. Sorry, this is going to be a longer conversation. I just want to note it so that it's in here. Okay. I think that the setup for the things on the wall or whatever, wherever this room is, no other witch can do this or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that was very obvious that was how this was going to go down.
Oh, I
had no idea. It wasn't until the runes were on that I was like, oh crap, that's why they pointed out the runes. I get it now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I thought it was kind of cool. Like the ending part I thought was cool. The whole like kind of battle before it was like, that's weird. But like when it started like flashing, I was like, what is it in the sky behind them? And then it like moved away and it was the rune. I was like,
I think that's because
what?
I think that's because you guys didn't really care to see like a huge battle. And I was thinking in my head, after that episode, after the episode after that, the whole Vision on Vision thought, and then I was like, okay, it's going to be Agatha on Wanda. How does that look? And it has to do with something with the like they had to have set something up. And so I started thinking about that, and then thought about the how that was so clearly what they were pointing out, because they put like 3 or 4 different shots of the wall. And I was like,
cool set, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful set.
I got to walk on that set. That's where I saw Matt Shackman.
Shatman.
Don't call him that.
I know, right? We're never gonna work for him.
Never again.
But the whole noticing that, and how it was very clearly like, you need to see this. This is important for some reason in the future. I was just thought it was just how does this work? And then when they started the battle and she was just missing all of the time and hitting the wall, I was like, okay, yeah, this is clear.
Wait, she wasn't missing?
She was. She hits the
constantly
wall
hit her
plenty of times.
I gotta rewatch the episode.
I did not notice that at all.
She hit her too, but she threw a lot at her. But she was missing a lot hitting the walls. I was like,
I guess this just means that Tazi's clearly more intelligent.
Tazi,
I just break down.
To be honest, after the whole Taiwan thing, I think you might be.
Justin, I think you were the only one who didn't know that.
Yeah,
I know.
I was telling you the entire time.
That's the point. I know, but I will. Listen to the tapes. I think after the first few times you said it, I was like, really? Am I this dumb? Am I this stupid? Turns out. Yes, I am.
Okay, well,
if you didn't know that Taipei and Taiwan, or Taipei was the capital of Taiwan, email us.
Info.
Thank you all for
listening. @gmail.com. We do not have a domain yet. All right, goodbye.
Yeah. Email, and then we'll be putting this up on YouTube at probably Film Feast on YouTube.
Tell them that.
And
all of this will be in the outro. They'll get it then.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Sweet.
Brent.
What?
You didn't get a stick.
Oh,
that's okay. I think the segment.
You got
I think
2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, come on, Brent.
For all
of you don't know,
last time you got mad at us, I was gonna do it in the intro.
I'm gonna do it in my. I was gonna do it as one of the ads.
You will.
As one of the ad rolls.
You still have to.
I know. I'm going to. Now it's time for 3 guys and 1 stick here.
This is the first episode technically now, so this is what happens. Just
hey, this is a segment we like to call. I like to call 3 guys and 1 stick.
Stick.
Now this is the stick I have chosen for today. The reasons which
are very unclear.
Are unknown. The great mysteries of the stick shall be unraveled throughout our podcast, and you'll need to come and enjoy it every week, so that you can understand the true marvels of sticks and cinema and how they relate to each other.
That's why he chose it. That's why he chose the stick, because it's Marvel.
Yeah, the marvels of the stick, the intricacies and how they relate to movies, cinema, and most importantly, Marvel. Thank you for watching. This has been 3 guys and 1 stick.
No, wait, does this open up the multiverse? Does this open up the multiverse?
Okay. All right, I'm going to stop the recording now.
Heyo! Hope you enjoyed the first episode of the Film Feast podcast. If you'd like to support us, please do so at patreon.com/filmfeast. And if you'd like to contact us at info.filmfeast@gmail.com. Do all the sharing, goodie stuff. Lastly, we're going to upload every Saturday. Don't know what time Saturday, just it will vary. So be on the lookout for new episodes, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.